Going on, guys? I didn't really realize that there was so much about the orbit. So we'll go over it real quick and then we'll continue on. So we have some walls, superior, and it's all based off of, I think, the optic canal, which is in the back, but I could be wrong. Superior is going to be the lesser wing of the sphenoid and the frontal bone. The inferior is the palatine, maxilla, and zygomatic. The medial portion is the ethmoid, frontal, lacrimal, and maxilla. The lateral portion is the greater wing of the sphenoid, zygomatic, and the frontal bones. So those are the walls of what makes the orbit. And then we have like the supraorbital ridge, I think is what it was called. Yeah, the orbital margins. So we have the frontal bone up top, zygomatic if this was the lateral portion or the cheek, and then the maxilla if this was like their nose. What's inside of it? The eye, fatty tissue, the lacrimal apparatus, extrinsic muscles, the ophthalmic arteries and branches, and the superior and inferior ophthalmic veins, and then cranial nerves 2, 3, 4, V1, V2, and 6. So there's a lot that goes through it. We were asked to know this picture. So the red portion is going to be the inferior orbital fissure. This blue portion is the superior orbital fissure. And the purple is this tendinous ring. And then the green is the optic canal. So let's go over the blue first, which goes inside the ring as well. So it's going to be the lacrimal branch of V1, the frontal branch of V1, cranial nerve 4, the superior branch of cranial nerve 3, nasal ciliary of V1, cranial nerve 6, inferior branch of cranial nerve 3, the superior ophthalmic vein, and then sympathetic fibers. For the inferior orbital fissure, has the inferior ophthalmic vein, the infraorbital nerve, artery, and vein, zygomatic nerve, and the ascending branches of the pterygopalatine ganglion. It's a lot. All right, the tendinous ring, which is the purple part, the ring in the middle, it has cranial nerve 2, ophthalmic artery, superior and inferior branches of cranial nerve 3, nasal ciliary of V1, and cranial nerve 6. We'll jump over to the green portion. It just has cranial nerve 2 and the ophthalmic artery. So you can notice here that in that tendinous ring, which is comprised of the muscles, that's what makes this tendinous ring, it has the optic canal located inside of it, and then a few others, the superior and inferior branches of cranial nerve 3, nasal ciliary, and cranial nerve 6. So if you were to remember this, memorize it, then I think you'd be able to differentiate between superior and inferior orbital fissures, just based off the contents. There's a lot of nerves. Cranial nerve 2 is vision, motor is 3, 4, and 6. Sensory is V1 and V2, and then cutaneous sensory is going to be V1 and V2 as well. Parasympathetics is 3, and then ciliary ganglion. And sympathetics is T1, and it's from that superior cervical ganglion. Arteries, based off the ICA, is the ophthalmic artery. And then we have the ocular, which the only thing that we need to know is a central retina that travels within the optic nerve. So cranial nerve 2. From the ECA, excuse me, we have the infraorbital artery, the angular artery, and the superficial temporal. And this is after it branches off of the parotid. So it's that transverse that branches off the parotid. And then veins, we have superior ophthalmic and inferior ophthalmic, and those two connect into this cavernous sinus. And then we also have the pterygoid plexus. So I didn't think there was so much content, but after writing it all down, I totally spaced how much there was.